Okay, we have all been there. You've written this brilliant paper, but now you're facing the final hurdle, APA citations. It can feel like this random set of rules designed to drive you crazy. But what if I told you it's not a mystery, but actually a really simple code? In this explainer, we're going to crack it together.
You've poured hours into your research, hours into your writing, and now you're staring at this wall of formatting rules for your bibliography. It's overwhelming, right? Kind of like being lost in a maze. But trust me, there is a simple, logical system behind all that madness, and we are about to figure it out.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by completely changing how we think about citations. Then we'll dive into the 4 essential building blocks that apply to, well, everything. From there, we'll see how this whole system works for common sources, digital media, and even some of those tricky special cases. Let's get to it.
All right, let's jump right in. The big secret to APA is to stop trying to memorize 100 different rules. Seriously. Instead, I want you to think of every single citation as a code that just answers 4 simple questions about your source. That's it, just 4 questions.
And this brings us to the absolute core of our explainer today. If you remember one thing, please make it this. Forget trying to memorize separate formats for books, websites, videos, the whole shebang. Instead, just focus on these 4 essential components. They are literally the DNA of every single citation you will ever write. So here they are. Every APA citation, and I don't care if it's for an ancient scroll or a brand new TikTok, answers these 4 questions in this exact order. Who is the creator? What is the date? What is it called, the title, and what is the source, as in where can I actually go find this thing? If you can master this simple pattern, you've basically mastered APA.
Okay, so theory is great, but let's see this thing in action. We're going to put this 4-part code into practice, starting with some of the most common sources you'll probably be using, books and articles.
Let's start with a classic, a simple book. The template lines up perfectly with our 4 building blocks. You've got the creator, you've got the date of publication, the title of the work, and the source, which, for a physical book, is just the publisher. See? It's that simple.
And here it is, live and in action. You can see the creator, Smith J.E., followed by the date, 2012. Then comes the title of the work, and finally the source, the publisher, Macmillan. Boom, all 4 blocks, present and accounted for.
So what happens when you're citing just one chapter from a book that has a bunch of different authors? The logic is exactly the same, but our source block just gets a little more detailed. You still have the chapter's creator, its date, and its title, but now the source has to point to the larger book it's in, so it includes the book's editors, the book's title, the page numbers, and of course the publisher. Here's a perfect example. Johnston is the creator of the chapter, but to tell your reader where to find that chapter, the source part of the citation points them to the larger book, the one edited by Mackenzie. It's the same 4-part pattern, just with a little extra layer of detail in that source block.
You see, the big takeaway here is that while the 4 building blocks are constant, the details inside them adapt to the type of source. So for a formal journal article, the date is just the year, and the source info includes stuff like the volume, issue, and a DOI. That's just a digital object identifier, basically a permanent link to that specific article. But for a news article, which comes out way more often, the date gets more specific, and the source is just the publication and a URL.
Okay, let's move into the digital world. Does our 4-part code still work for things like websites, social media, and YouTube videos? You bet it does. And here's the real aha moment. The core logic of creator, date, and title hasn't changed at all. The only thing that's really evolved is that final source block, which now includes things like URLs and platform names. The foundation is exactly the same.
For a standard website, the logic holds up perfectly. You identify the author or the organization as the creator. You find the publication date. The title is the title of the specific page you're looking at. And the source? It's just the name of the website and the URL. All 4 blocks present and accounted for.
You know, even for something as informal as a social media post, the 4 blocks still apply. The creator is the person who made the post. The date is when it was posted. The title is often the first part of the post itself. And the source is the social media platform, like X or Facebook, along with a direct link.
And the pattern is pretty much identical for a YouTube or streaming video. The creator is the channel or person who uploaded it. Then you have the upload date, the title of the video, and the source is the platform itself, YouTube, Netflix, whatever, followed by the URL. It's this consistency of the 4-block system that makes it so powerful.
Okay, you've got the core system down cold. Now let's quickly cover a few special cases that often trip people up. Once you've got these, you'll pretty much be an APA pro.
What if you have multiple creators? It's really simple. For 2 authors, you just connect them with an ampersand. For anything from 3 up to 20 authors, you list them all out, separated by commas, with an ampersand right before the very last name.
Now, what about a source that your reader can't actually go and find, like a personal interview you conducted or an email you received? The rule here is simple. If your reader can't access it, it does not go in your final reference list, period. You simply cite it within the text of your paper, which is what we call an in-text citation.
And for the most modern source of all, AI tools like ChatGPT. The creator is the company that developed the model, so OpenAI. The date is the year you used it. But here's the most important recommendation. Because AI can generate a unique response every single time, you should include the full text of its output in an appendix of your paper. It's all about transparency.
So let's recap our toolkit. The master key to APA is to stop memorizing and start understanding the system. Always, always begin with those 4 building blocks: creator, date, title, and source. This simple framework applies to everything from a printed book to a fleeting tweet. Focus on the pattern, pay attention to the details, and you'll be set.
Because in the end, citations aren't just some tedious formatting requirement. They are the map of your intellectual journey. They honor the work of others and show this great big conversation that your own work is now a part of. So now that you've cracked the code, what story will your sources help you tell?